Hi, welcome to day 4 of the Gangster School read along. I'm Kate Wiseman. I wrote it. Where is it? Here it is. And we are up to the point where chapter 4, where Millie and Charlie are about to start their first lesson. They've just got it to blackguards. Weird things have happened to them already. And here we go. This is their first lesson. Our first lesson is thievery, Millie said to Charlie after a quick look at her timetable. It's one of the compulsory subjects, along with fabrication, betrayal, stealth, hacking, plotting, and defiance and discourtesy. Lots of other choices too, of course. The timetable was updated recently. No one's interested in highway robbery on horseback or obtaining money from gullible yokels by pretending to be a talking pig anymore. I think that's a shame. Shame! I've been working on my talking pig skills, Charlie said with a grin. They were in the middle of the gaggle of Year 7s, tugging at their new striped burglar's tops and adjusting their multi-pocketed trousers as they assembled outside the locker room before lesson. Among the group was a tall, lean girl with a determined chin, like that. She looked a little older than the rest of the group. She had been one of those who hadn't followed Millie's lead during the Year 8 ambush. I'm Agatha Quint. I'm going to be a criminal escape specialist. I'll be getting lessons in the holidays from boneless Brad Cunningham, the world's only 100% successful escapologist. He's my second cousin. There are loads of escapologists in my family, and I'm going to be the best of the lot. Look, he gave me these handcuffs. They're engraved, she said, passing them round and pointing to the message. Agatha, keep wriggling, BBC. I've brought lots of other pairs with me. Collecting handcuffs, my hobby. They're cool, Millie said, passing the handcuffs to Charlie. Do you think you could give me some escapology tips sometimes? You never know when they'd be useful. Agatha gave her a cool look. Nah, sorry, every crim for themselves. Millie raised her eyebrows. Pity you haven't started your escapology lessons yet. If you had, you might have got on better in the ambush. Agatha Quint shot her a look of dislike and turned away. The thievery classroom was the first room, in one of the corners branching off from reception. There was a painting on the door of a masked guardian, tiptoeing away with a brimming bag of loot. It says in the prospectus that the classroom doors are decorated with a picture reflecting the subject taught in it. It's to help newbies, said the freckly boy, who tried to reason with the Year 8 ambushers. He'd introduced himself as William Proctor. This must be it then, Millie said, and pushed open the door. The teacher hadn't arrived yet, so the new Blaguardians sat down and looked around them. Apart from a poster, Bank Vaults of the World and How to Get Into Them, an elaborate wall display headed Inspirational Robbers, Find Your Role Model. The room was beige and bland. Not beige and bland. They were taking out their pencil cases and crowbars when the doors opened just wide enough to allow a figure to slide into the room. It took several moments for the Year 7s to realise that they were no longer alone. Millie spotted the man first and nudged Charlie, who'd been assessing the class computer as if it was a priceless painting. The man glided over to Millie and Charlie, who were sitting at the front of the room. Welcome to thievery, he said, in a flat voice. Millie looked up at a man with dust-coloured hair and puffy cheeks, like a hamster with half-filled face pouches. He was a little shorter than average height. He was wearing a beige suit that should have made him look smart, but it didn't. Thanks, sir, Millie said, assessing the man with interest. He gave a slight nod and returned to the front of the class. He stood completely still and waited. Soon every head turned his way. He managed a faint smile and began speaking in a finicky voice. Good morning, new Blaguardians. I'm Nick Lightfinger, and I'm going to teach you all you need to know about acquiring items that aren't officially yours. The Lightfingers have been experts ever since Thaddeus Lightfinger made off with all the fire extinguishers during the Great Fire of London. Somewhere behind Millie, a girl laughed out loud and said very clearly, Ha! Hilarious! My sides are splitting. The tone of the girl's voice made it clear that she didn't find it funny at all. Lightfinger looked annoyed. Who said that? What makes you think I'm joking? I never joke. Was it you? He was staring at Millie, pale brows drawn into a straight line. It was you, wasn't it? Milly opened her mouth to deny it, but before she could frame a word, Charlie coughed and said in a strangled voice, "Oh, sorry, sir, it was me. I was thinking about a joke I heard today about a short-sighted thief who tried to escape from a yacht he'd been raiding on a shark that he mistook for a plastic inflatable. Every time I remember it, I split my sides laughing. It's hilarious. When I laugh a lot, it makes me cough and it makes my voice go funny." He coughed a bit more to emphasise his point. "Very well," Lightfinger said after a second or two, "but you won't get far at blackguards if you own up every time you misbehave. And can I suggest that you restrain your appetite for weak jokes until my lesson is finished? A thievery class is no place for fun." Charlie gave Milly a wink. "You can say that again," he whispered, as Lightfinger turned back to the whiteboard and picked up a pen. "Sorry about the lame joke. It was all I could come up with. I think it was that tall girl with the handcuffs who upset him. Agatha? Maybe she's out to show you up." Milly threw a quick glance over her shoulder. For a moment, Agatha Quint met her eyes with a gaze of mild innocence, a bit like that. Then she looked back at the teacher. I'll bear that in mind. I could have taught my way out of it without help, you know, but it's nice to have someone looking out for me for a change, so thanks." "I'm sure you could," Charlie said apologetically, "but I had a sudden flash of inspiration. It doesn't happen often, and I didn't want to waste it." Clutching the pen in pudgy hands, Lightfinger was talking again. "The secret of the Lightfinger success has always been our ability to blend into the background. Believe me, it's not easy. It takes complete self-control." A look of pride settled on his plain face. "Our family motto is bland is best." "Why am I not surprised?" Milly murmured to Charlie, under the pretext of taking a notepad out of her bag. He rolled his eyes at her. "I've got some very exciting news to announce," Lightfinger droned on. "But first I'm going to give you a few essential tips on keeping your self-control. That's the bedrock of this subject. It needs to be second nature before you even attempt to rearrange the ownership of your desired items. So let's have some ideas on how to develop iron self-control. Hands up." "Become a dependable," someone called from the back of the room. "Then your life will be so boring you'll never need self-control." Nearly everyone laughed except Charlie, who was looking at his feet as if he wished he could be somewhere else. Nick Lightfinger's lips didn't even twitch. "True. But let's try and think of something a bit less extreme. Anyone got any other ideas?" "Okay, I'll tell you how it's done. All you need to remember is this." He turned to the right board and wrote, "Dull. Think only dull thoughts. Allow nothing stimulating into your brain, and remember that excitement is your enemy. Iceberg. Pretend you're an iceberg, cold, unthinking, deadly. Movement. Restrict your movements to the absolute minimum necessary to achieve your goals. Move economically, like a leopard moving in for the kill. DIM. Dull iceberg movement." Lightfinger turned back to the class. "Thinking dim will strongly enhance your chances of success in the field of forcible acquisition. Maybe you'll be nearly as successful as me, eventually." And he smiled without opening his mouth, emphasising his puffy jowls even more. Now he looked like a hamster with full cheek pouches. Milly gave Charlie a pained look. "Think dim? Is he for real?" she whispered. "Do you think he ever uses the word steal?" Seeing the dusty little teacher smirking and puffing out his chest, she added, "Oh, goody, he's ready to tell us his wonderful news. I can hardly wait." End of chapter 4. There you go. What's Lightfinger going to tell them? What do you think you would do in their situation if you had to go to a thievery lesson? I suspect that you wouldn't like it any more than I would, because we don't go around stealing things, do we? But have a think about this kind of school you'd like to write about. Could be a good time to start, couldn't it? And stay safe. And I'll be back tomorrow with, believe it or not, chapter 5. Bye-bye.